Back in 2019, on 14th of April, in the quiet town of Caracal, Romania, nestled amidst serene landscapes, a sinister chapter unfolded, leaving scars of horror etched in the collective memory of the nation. Alexandra Măceşanu, a mere 15-year-old, embarked on a journey home from private lessons, a routine excursion that would descend into a nightmare of unimaginable proportions. Hindered by the absence of reliable public transport, Alexandra found herself at the mercy of the road, resorting to hitchhiking, a decision that would thrust her into the clutches of evil. As Alexandra's terror-stricken voice pierced the veil of the night, her desperate pleas for help echoed through the darkness. "He's coming, she cried, her frantic calls to the emergency hotline a harrowing testament to her anguish. Yet, bureaucratic inertia and indifference met her distress, delaying the response that could have spared her from the horrors that awaited. Meanwhile, lurking in the shadows like a predatory spectre, Gheorghe Dință, a 65-year-old mechanic, preyed upon the vulnerability of unsuspecting victims. Alexandra's path intersected with his, leading her into the heart of darkness. In the seclusion of Dință's lair, Alexandra's worst fears became a grim reality as she fell prey to his depraved desires. Bungling police, hampered by procedural hurdles and red tape, took agonizingly long to respond to Alexandra's pleas for rescue. 12 long hours passed before they arrived at Dință's doorstep, where Alexandra's fate had already been sealed. Yet, the authorities hesitated, waiting 7 more hours for a warrant they did not need, a delay that would cost Alexandra her life. The gruesome discovery at Dință's residence laid bare the extent of his depravity. Charred bones and body parts bore silent witness to the unspeakable horrors that unfolded within those walls. Dință, the architect of pain and suffering, admitted to his crimes, confessing to the murders of Alexandra and another teenager, Luiza Melencu, whose charred remains were also discovered earlier. As Romania reeled from the shock of these heinous crimes, cries for justice reverberated through the streets of Bucharest. Thousands took to the streets, their voices rising in unison against the pervasive culture of apathy and indifference that had allowed such atrocities to occur. Interior Minister Nicolae Moga wielded the axe of accountability, sacking Police Chief Ioan Buda and forcing the resignation of 4 other officials in a bid to quell public outrage. Yet, amid the clamor for justice, questions lingered, haunting the collective conscience of the nation. How could such horrors have been allowed to occur? What systemic failures and institutional negligence had enabled Dință to operate with impunity? As Romania grappled with these painful truths, President Klaus Iohannis emerged as a voice of reason, calling for sweeping reforms to prevent such tragedies from ever happening again. Although there are rumors that this whole case is a cover-up for a big conspiracy, suggesting the girls are still alive but they were actually kidnapped by a human trafficking organization that works hand-in-hand with local authorities and the victims were taken abroad, there isn't any convincing evidence that the rumors are true. But the victims' relatives are still hoping for a miracle. Who knows what is the whole truth? Only time will tell.